Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another web-slinging, skyscraper climbing Gamers Inquiry review. Today, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man. No, not Peter Parker. I'm talking about Miles Morales. No, not the one with the afro. The one from the Insomniac game. Right. Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, is a spin-off from the very successful Spider-Man 2018 game developed by Insomniac Games. As the title suggests, the game features Miles Morales in a standalone adventure and focuses on his struggle to become a strong and dependable web-slinging hero, just like his pal and mentor Peter Parker. The game received a bit of a backlash from gamers who felt $50 was a bit steep for a game which was half as long as the first installment. Despite the nerd rage of these fans, the game received both critical and commercial success upon release, with a 9 out of 10 score on IGN and even 6.5 million copies sold by June 2021. The game also received a BAFTA award nomination, which isn't too shabby for a game about a wall-crawling science nerd in his tights. With the new Spider-Man game set to launch by fall of 2023, and as well as a new trailer released for Across the Spider-Verse featuring another iteration of Miles Morales, I feel this is the best time as any to give my review of Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Is the game even that good? Or is it even worth playing in 2023? Keep it locked right here for a deeper review on Spider-Man Miles Morales. Pete. All right, let's talk about the story and narrative. It's been 1 year since Peter Parker took Miles under his wings, or web, or whatever. Miles has grown considerably as a hero, but still has quite a lot to learn. He's also dealing with the death of his father, Jefferson Davis, which we saw in the DLC of the first game. With Peter leaving New York to help Mary Jane with her Daily Bugle assignment, it's up to Miles to hone his powers and take on the responsibility of protecting his New York City, or more precisely, Harlem, his new home. Along with the responsibility of mastering his powers and keeping them a secret from his loved ones, Miles also has to deal with a mysterious, technologically advanced group called Underground, who seem hell-bent on causing chaos and destruction to the city. Now, I know what you're thinking. The game's story is basically a cliched superhero narrative that we've seen 1,000 times already, complete with popular tropes like dead father figure, a strong and independent mom, a nerdy best friend, a love interest, and a twist so obvious that I bet even Aunt May could see it coming. She's about 65 years old. Also, I can't help but think about how many dead father figures are in every comic origin story. Richard Parker, Uncle Ben, and now Jefferson Davis. I guess being the father of a superhero means a certain death. Ultimately, Miles Morales' story is by no means original, nor does it do a lot of new things. However, the characters and the dialogue are so expertly written that you can't help but care about each of them. Its story is also compact, fast-paced, which in my humble opinion, an improvement over the first game. Speaking of which, let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is pretty much the same as the first game. You play as a science geek with spider powers who swings around the city in colorful spandex and beats up bad guys. The game also features the same semi-open world as the first, only this one is set in the holiday season, so much of Harlem is blanketed by snow. You can traverse through the city by swinging from one skyscraper to the next in typical Spidey fashion. You could also fast travel using the New York subway system. Besides the main story missions, which are mandatory to complete the game, you can also fight crimes and engage in side missions using the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man crime app engineered for you by your best friend, Genki Lee. Miles controls similarly to Peter in the first game, except with the addition of new animations, and Miles also has bioelectric abilities called Venom Power. This new ability helps him take out bad guys with awesome lightning charged attacks. Just like in the first game, You get a boatload of upgrades, gadgets, spider suits, collectibles, and the likes. Miles Morales' gameplay is pretty much a clone of the first game. That's not a bad thing since the first game had some of the best gameplay in the superhero video games genre, which makes it even more impressive that Spider-Man, Miles Morales, managed to improve on it. Though it was a bit more linear than its predecessor, I found the gameplay quite enjoyable. Okay, let's talk about the combat. The combat of the game is also pretty similar to 2018 Spider-Man, but like I mentioned before, the addition of Miles' Venom power made a huge difference. The combat of the first game consisted of the same gymnastic, swashbuckling, web-shooting fun that we've come to expect of the Spider-Man series. Not to forget his witty quips and epic one-liners. When charged up, Miles can use the Venom Blast to deliver the finishing blow to goons and grunts. He can also use the Mega Venom Blast to create a bioelectric explosion, taking out a group of bad guys all at once. The cinematics for these powerful moves are also pretty mind-blowing. Miles basically goes from being Spider-Man to being Electro in a split second as bolts of yellow electricity surge around his body. Needless to say, it's easily the best part of the game for me. The game also features some stealth levels, just like in the first game, only this time you can use your suit's camouflage ability to become temporarily invisible. Okay, next is graphics and performance. The game's graphics are top-notch. As expected, the towering skyscrapers and snow-covered vistas of New York never looked so amazing, especially since the visuals of the 2018 game were also superb. Whether playing in fidelity or performance mode, the visuals look gorgeous either way. I even found myself pining for a chance to live in the Big Apple for a bit. That's until I realized that in the Marvel Universe, living in New York would mean facing a different supervillain attack on a daily basis, and that quickly took the wind out of my sails. And the obvious high cost of rent. All right, let's talk replayability. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales has little replayability in my books. The game has no multiplayer or co-op capabilities, which, to be fair, isn't really needed in a single-player game of this nature. The game isn't also much of a challenge, even on harder difficulties. Ultimately, it's a game that you will certainly enjoy playing through once or maybe twice while you wait for Marvel's Spider-Man 2's release. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales had quite the hill to climb since it was coming right after Insomniac's incredible first Spider-Man game in 2018. However, not only did it equal the quality of the first game, but it also managed to surpass it. Some may complain about the price of the game since it feels like an add-on or extra DLC to the first. But in my opinion, it's a fun and enjoyable superhero action game that's definitely worth the price. Therefore, I'll be giving this one 4 out of 5 stars. Do you agree or disagree with my review? Let me know what you think in the comments. We make awesome videos like this every week, so be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for new updates on new videos. Thanks again for watching, you guys. The channel and myself, we really appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next one.